Greetings from the Fredericktown homestead. That's the old well pump right there. We believe that to be one horse. And here's the brand new one.
She's
It's
a half
all
horse.
clamped on there, and he's just about to make the electrical connections. You see all this hose? That's how deep our well is. I reckon that's maybe 100 feet even. I don't know. Maybe even more than 100 feet. Quite a deep well. Surprising since we got a creek that runs by right over there, but be that as it may. Yeah, we haven't had any water since Sunday. That was the day they moved in. And we thinking that our pump gave up. I talked to our Amish electrician. I say that with tongue in cheek. But he knows a lot about electricity and pumps, and he was the one that actually got us running water when I first moved in here in November. And he gave me a checklist. He told me to turn off all the breakers in the breaker box, turn them all back on again, make sure they're all on so that we made sure we had power. So we did that. That didn't work. So we said, well, go get a voltage tester. That's that little red thing down in the hole down there. Very simple. And I was able to get that at the Amish hardware store. And he was kind of laughing at me. See, you need an electric tester. You English, you don't know nothing. And but he had what I needed, so I bought it. And he got a kick out of it. And so we tested down here in the hole, and we found that the pressure box thing had power to it. And then we further tested and found that the actual pump had power to it. The other end of this wire that he's hooking up, he put the tester on that. When you go down in that hole, you're not alone. There's let me see if I can get a picture of our celebrity here. Where? Oh yeah, he's there. You see, we got helpers down there in the form of, what'd you say there was? 7 snakes?
Yeah.
Now isn't that just a poetic number for the number of snakes? That's the number of completeness in the Bible. He don't like snakes, and I'll tell you I don't like snakes. But he's got 7 of them down there when he goes down in the hole. Not very nice. This connection he's doing is going to be right under the water. You can see the rust on the line back there. See, the water level is between this point, which is what, 15, 16 feet from him, maybe not quite that much, 14. And it's between there and right here. Looks like the water level never gets above here. And then we got a gasket thing right there. And then it snakes around here and around here and around there and around there and around there. And it comes up here, and this is the top of the wellhead right here. This is, yeah, that's a pretty deep well. And our hope and prayer is that when connections are made and pump is installed back at my hole, that we will have, again, running water. Something that all homesteads should have, even if they live off grid, should have running water. One thought I had was, you see, you got this nice concrete lid, and you got the well right below it right there, and I thought, well, I could put a windmill on here. But if you look straight overhead, you see those 2 black lines up there? That's the power service for the farm. Or no, it isn't either. Yes, it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, that must be. Some either after it comes out of the transformer over there, it goes in heavy wires over to the house and over to the Quonset hut and over to the barn. But yeah, that's our power. When I put this step ladder or this ladder up, I was tickling them. I don't think I want to put a windmill up. Not with them wires there right over the well. But boy, wouldn't a windmill be scenic. But if you think of the logistics of a windmill, you'd have to have somehow have a above you storage that was freeze proof. So that probably pretty means it has to go in the house. So upstairs we'd have to have a big tank somewhere and pump it up to that big tank, and that would give us our pressure. With electricity, it's all done by magic, and you plug it in and automatically, poof, you have pressure. There's a pressure tank and a relief valve and all kinds of magic. Stuff I do not understand. My time in the circus with all that magic they had there, they didn't teach me about electricity, but it's all magic to me. I do know that you got to keep your connections watertight. That's what he's working on now, is trying to make sure water don't get in there. We are going to have water on the homestead, which we had all the way along, but then somehow we burned up a pump right there. That pump is 30 years old, you said?
Yeah.
30 years old. And at Tractor Supply, they asked me, do you want the extended warranty? And I said, well, how much is it? And they said, well, 1 year's $80 and 3 years is $200. And I said, no, I don't think so. The old ones, I didn't say any more, but what I was thinking was the old one's 30 years old. I think I'll save my $200 and actually, the pump's not the real expense, even though it was $400, but the real expense is installation. The plumber said he'd charge us $1,200 to do this job, and he couldn't get to it for 2 weeks. So I don't think he wanted to do it. Probably didn't like snakes. Oh, there's a snake right on the floor. You're going to step on one of them. Nice. You see Bear's lip? Bear, show him your lip. You see his lip? Right here. Look at this big bulge here. Right here. He was playing with some yellow jackets this morning underneath the rainwater collection system, and the cats fiss at him and scratch his nose, but the yellow jackets, they sting him right in the lip. That's got to be uncomfortable. Can't even close his mouth, it hangs down so. Poor dog. He's connected up the ground. Now that's the one that don't matter if it gets in the water. Ground is water, water is ground. These wires are all color coded. The black is positive and the black is negative, and the black is also ground. But when you get up here out of the water, you see you've got black, red, and green. But when you get under the water, You got black, black, and black. I think that may be due to the iron in the water. We have a lot of iron in the water. If you look at our toilet bowl, it's rust colored. Plan C, if we have to go to that, there is a retired, used to be plumber in the family. We can always call on him. I think we got it. I think we got it. If we tape that connection that he's making to the main line and lower down the hole, connect up our connections, and Bob's your uncle. This was a bit of a surprise how deep this was. I don't know if a windmill could even pull water that deep. Be a test for it for sure. But we get a lot of wind here. I talked to the Amish boy, the 14-year-old boy that's out of school, about doing the raking, and he asked me, well, how dry is it? And we looked up and the sky was just as gray as could be, and not long after that, it rained kittens and puppies. But he's going to come down here and rake that, and then I'm going to burn it. And then he's going to come back and he's going to plow it when we get good moisture. And plant all that to rye. That garden will be planted to rye this fall, I hope. That's my hope. And plow that in the spring, and boy, we're going to have a sensational garden. And next year, there will be beans in that field, and beans don't get sprayed near as much as what the corn does. That's one thing about that location for a garden. It's right up against the conventional field, the tillage, and this farmer has not been terribly diligent about his spraying. He has almost as many weeds as he does crop, but I'm not complaining. I don't like that Roundup business. But that's our plan with the garden. Rake it, burn it, plow it, plant it, and let it grow over the winter, and then plow it in the spring, cultivate it with a Troy-Bilt, and plant enough food to support at least one army. You see over here we got kitties making friends. You got male kitty and BB playing together, not really playing with each other, but laying within striking distance of each other. That's good to see. Male kitty, you like that little kitty? Huh? Money, 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 money. One of our chickens got caught underneath the wire yesterday. I think Bear probably moved the cage over on his own. Trapped one of the chickens, and I got home and the chicken was trapped, and now that chicken's not very happy. Male kitty doesn't bother much about Bear. All right, we're well on our way to hydration. Tape that to the main line, and away we go. I would double it back so that it, you know, crink it around so that it tape. Yes, exactly. Yes, so that we can slide it right down the hole.
I was gonna
do one of those numbers.
Right
Yes,
there.
exactly.
So I'll do that there. Tape this part down real quick. Get that part down. And we'll be ready to start feeding it.
The warning label tells us that there's risk of explosion if this freezes or if the outlet is for some reason turned off while the pump is pumping. There can be a devastating explosion. Oh well. We're in Ohio and it's down in a deep hole. I don't think we'll have any danger with frost. I've been in Ohio 8 years and we haven't had a winter yet. Not so you'd call it a winter. You want an extra hand?
I think I got her.
And by the way, people, this is not a how-to video. This is just how we're overcoming our obstacles, one obstacle at a time. We'll have how-to videos later on. Stay tuned. Subscribe. We'll teach you how to do things. They gave us a rope to pull it up with, but we didn't even use it when we pulled it up. We just heave-ho and away we go. The one I pulled up in Maryland was about, I want to say 3 times this length, and the pipe I think was 3 inch maybe. It was big, and we had to pull it with a pickup truck. But just him and I, we could pull this out. Biggest thing is you got to get it coming out of the well just right. Alright, I'm going to sign off so we can put this back down in the hole. God bless. I hope you guys got water.